Excuse me, I was just taking my birth control pill. Why do you ask, was I taking my birth control pill? Well, women who take oral birth controls have to take them at the same time every day. And it's interesting that I am taking birth control in front of you because I'm actually going to be talking to you today about male contraceptive or male birth control. You see, in 1964, Bob Dylan sang "The Times They Are A-Changin'," and when he sang those lyrics back in 1964, he was talking about social landscapes that were changing, and also there was a sexual revolution that was going on. And those words couldn't be truer today than they were back then, because there is a social landscape that's changing today, and it has to do with a sexual revolution once again. And today, it's not only about women's liberation and the sexual liberation of them using birth control, but it's more so about men and their abilities to choose what type of birth control or male contraceptive they can use. So today, we're going to delve more into why we haven't heard more about male contraceptives. See, in the next 5 years, scientists are saying that it is viable that there could be male contraceptives, such as an over-the-counter pill, comparable to the one that you just saw me take. Also, there are holistic approaches or natural homeopathic approaches that men can be taking as opposed to using conventional contraceptives such as more commonly used condoms or in the past vasectomy or surgery. So why aren't these contraceptives that are over-the-counter like pills available right now? Well, just like when women started taking birth control, these doctors and scientists and a lot of medical research was going into the research of these pills. Well, today there's also a lot of medicine research and science that's going into male contraceptive research. There was a study in Australia that failed because they were finding that they were taking healthy sperm and making it unhealthy, and it was having detrimental side effects to future offspring. Also, there is a successful research study going on that happened in Boston where they were doing an anti-cancer drug study on mice, and they found that that drug actually was making the mice infertile, but it was only when the mice were on the drug, and as soon as they took the mice off the drug, they were back to their normal procreation. So this research study from Boston is actually the one that the pharmaceutical companies are going to brand and go forward with, and this is the one that they're saying in the next 5 years could possibly be a male contraceptive pill that men would be able to order over the counter, and it would be a pill that they would just pop like 30 minutes before or an hour before sexual intercourse. So right now, more than ever before, women have so many options available to them, but men only have one predominant option, and that's condoms. So let's talk a little bit about why the efficacy of condoms really isn't that great. According to the Centers for Disease Control study of 2013, there was still an 18% failure rate for people who were using condoms as their main source of birth control. And also there was a study done in New York City by the Centers for Disease Control that found that out of the 4 million sexually active New Yorkers, only 31% were using condoms. So there's still a very high failure rate and a very low usage rate. Now, what if you don't want to use, as a man, for contraceptive, a newly coined pill that you don't know what the side effects are, or also you don't want to use a condom? Well, there's also a more permanent option, and that's vasectomy or surgery. But the only problem with surgery is you have to have surgery, and it's very permanent and severe, and some men don't see that as being an option. They don't see it as being a long-term problem. So there are also failure rates with that. The CDC says there are 11 failure rates per 1,000 procedures, so there's something to think about there. Now, what if there was a natural way, or if nature had a way to help us out with birth control for men? Well, actually, Ayurvedic medicine is an Indian form of medicine that has been practiced for over 3,000 years, and the Indian Army spearheaded a research study over 20 men who were married over 1 year with neem seed oil, which is a natural plant. They put the extract in a capsule. The men took it for a year, and for a whole year they were infertile, and they didn't impregnate their wives, but it didn't affect anything such as their libidos. And after they stopped taking it, they were right back to being fertile again. So this actually is available over the counter in India. So amazing when you get natural things and they work. So this is available in India right now. And you can go to neemfoundation.org for more information on that. So as we can see, finding alternative forms of birth control for the last 3,000 years for men has been a challenge, and it will continue to be a challenge, but that doesn't mean we're not going to find a way. And as I said earlier, scientists say it's going to happen in the next 5 years, so it should be interesting. And I think that alternative forms are just right around the corner, and it's going to lead to very interesting conversations, and I say let the conversations begin. Thank you.